Okay, now John, would you like to start us off by giving us some background information and your platform?
Absolutely. First, thanks to everyone here for having us tonight. This is great. Are we doing this for real? Okay. A little bit about myself. I love Miami. I was here within 5 minutes new. I just felt completely at home. And it wasn't until I actually came to Miami that I actually really fell in love with it. I love the organizations I'm involved with. I love the people that I know. I love, yeah.
Keep going. It's your introduction still.
Okay.
Keep
I
going.
thought we were doing a mic check. All right. Where was I? Got technical difficulties here. And it wasn't until I actually came here that I actually fell in love with everything Miami has to offer. I want to make sure that everyone has as great of a Miami experience as I've had. So one of the things that I think distinguishes me from other candidates is my involvement in other organizations. I serve as the current ASG Secretary for Public Relations. I also have hosted over 50 episodes of the John Stefanski Show on WMSRRedHawkRadio.com every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. I'm also the president of the Miami Association for Public Administration, which is something that I hold near and dear to my heart as I am a public administration major. And it's from these experiences that I've been able to kind of craft a platform that I think is full of tangible ideas, tangible solutions that I think the everyday student can actually relate to. And so it's with that we'll talk about a little later, and I'll let the other candidates kind of talk right now.
My name is Colton Kidwell. I'm a business economics major, political science minor. I'm the VP of Public Relations in Pi Sigma Epsilon, which we actually just got top chapter in the nation this past weekend, so big shout out to PSC. Excited about that. I'm the founder and co-owner of OpenView Cinema LLC, a video production company, and I'm a proud member of the Oxford Chamber of Commerce. We have a great platform. It's full of content, it's full of fresh ideas, it's rich with a unique perspective. That's something different, that we bring a perspective that some of the other candidates don't, as of not being in ASG. And our platform, though, is 250 to 394% larger than the other platforms. And I think having that substance there with real ideas that have been explicitly laid out is important. We've broken our platform down into a past, present, and future approach. The past being things that ASG's already initiated. We're really excited to keep those things going, like revising the Miami Plan, which hasn't been touched in 2 decades. The present are issues we want to target in our 9-month term that we know we can take care of, like campus safety, school spirit, and involving international students more on campus. Finally, future are some of the big issues we want to tackle, like making Miami students more employable by working with career services and improving our alumni relations. But I want to speak a little bit about something that I normally don't talk about and go off script a little bit, and that's relationships. Yeah, relationship advice, at a debate. Yesterday evening, Molly, Matt, and I sat down with E. Wang. He's an international student. He's on the exec board for Cabo, and we got a room in Best Library, just a study room, and he explained his ideas, what he wants for the international students, and we were able to listen and evolve our platform right then and there. Those relationships is what's important. ASG's done some great things, but it can only reach its full potential by really creating relationships with all stakeholders, especially with Miami students.
First question, what does the term the Miami experience mean to you, and how was your Miami experience impacted your decision to run for student body president, John?
That's a great question. I think I've had a tremendous Miami experience here, but I think it's important to note that one of the things that makes Miami so great is that everyone here has a different Miami experience. So my Miami experience is going to be different from Colton's, it's going to be different from Megan's, it's going to be different from Taylor's, it's going to be different from yours. And that's what makes Miami great. So we have these many opportunities for students to really go and individualize their Miami experience, and I think that's tremendous. But we need to make sure, and as a student body president, we're running with Lizzie Litso, Jake Westfall, and Mike Troy, that we'll really make sure we can work to maximize the Miami experience for everyone. I'm a public administration major. I want my Miami experience to be as great as it can be, but I want it to be great, if for music education majors. I want it to be great for architecture majors. So that's why we really want to really want to work to get people involved in student organizations and be sure to make sure everyone's Miami experience is as best as it can by attacking the problems that are facing everyone on a day-to-day basis. My platform does it. You can see it on our website, stefanskilitza.com, and see the tangible bullet point answers to the problems facing everyone on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, those are both good answers already. I mean, I'm thankful for my Miami experience, but it's something I don't think everyone gets the same Miami experience. I don't think it's been necessarily equal across all different types of people and across all different majors. Like I mentioned in the introduction, it takes relationships, and that's something I think Miami's dropped the ball on, is creating relationships among different groups, among things like career services and other academic divisions. The business school does a really good job at working with career services and getting people employed, but employment isn't exclusive to a business major. Anyone that comes to Miami, no matter what your Miami experience is, it's all going to be different for everyone. But at the end of the day, one thing that people are going to want is to be more employable. And one thing our team wants to work on, is it's part of our future approach, is enhancing career services, working with career services in the various academic divisions, strengthening our relationship with alumni to really help people once they leave Miami. I think it's not just that, it's also with our international students. Like I mentioned E at the beginning, his Miami experience is hindered by the fact that he feels like him and other international students have been marginalized and haven't had their interests, kind of shown in student representation. One idea we have is, I believe we need to have 3 spots on Student Senate exclusively for international students. I think that's the best way they can be, represented, and their Miami experience can be more fulfilled that way.
What specific academic policies would you advocate to prevent Miami falling further in the national rankings?
I think the fundamental problem right now, it comes down to the Miami plan. It comes down to the fact that we have classes that are too big, sections that are exploding, classes that people don't want to be in, professors that don't necessarily want to be teaching those classes, and there's no personal contact between the students and those professors. There's no way you're going to have a good academic experience from 400 people using a clicker to answer questions, or sending an email to a professor to get a question answered because he doesn't have time to meet with you in person. Restructuring the Miami plan is going to come down to how can we get these classes back to being small? How can we get Miami's focus back on undergraduate education? When revising the Miami plan, it's important to keep that liberal arts aspect to it, but another thing we want to do is find ways to make the Miami plan help people be more employable. I mean, it's important to have actual, good experiences in these classes. Yeah, it's one thing to be well-rounded and get these diverse views, and that's great, and we want to do that. But also, career services needs to be working with us to help make Miami Plan more effective, to prepare people for after Miami University.
There's a lot of people out there that actually think that ASG doesn't really do anything to address the problems facing students on a day-to-day basis, but that's not necessarily true. Check this out. Tomorrow in Student Senate, Tyler Sinclair, a good friend of mine and colleague serving with me on ASG Exec, Student Senate's going to vote on the ASG Academic Advising Act. Now what this act does is it addresses all the problems and issues that these other candidates have already been talking about so eloquently. Tyler has done a great job envisioning this. I want to execute it. I want to be the one who's advocating for the students, making sure that we have relevant and proper changes to how we have academic advising on this campus so that everyone has a fair shot at getting a good GPA, going into classes that they'll learn and they'll be able to take away from. Now, you talked about rankings in your question. U.S. News & World Report, when they come out and do their rankings of schools, 25% of that is on graduation rates and retention rates. So think about that. If we have a better academic advising system, Miami's ranking as a whole is going to get better because we're going to be keeping people here for 4 or 5 years, and people are going to be graduating. That's a quarter of how they rank schools. So that's an easy way for us to actually go and get our rankings better. And for those of you who are in Farmer School of Business, that's an even easier way to have FSB be top 5, top 4, top 3 ranked, because that's what's holding it back is Miami's ranking as a whole.
Advancement is extremely important to the viability of the university. What sort of initiatives would you like to see ASG pursue in order to facilitate and enhance stronger relations with alumni?
A lot of things that we've been doing with an ASG, and something that I was really excited to work on last year as a student senator with Heath Ingram, was the creation of the Secretary for Alumni Affairs position. I voted on that as a senator. I want to see that position be a success. We're at a crossroads right now. The current VP of Advancement has just stepped down. We will be getting a new one in within the next couple of months. That means that now's the time, if we want to make changes to how we bring students, involving them with alumni, now's the time to do it when we get a new Vice President of Advancement. Alumni are a lot more than just their bank accounts. It's a lot easier just to kind of say, we need to get them to donate money for us so we can, do this or do that. And that's important, but we need to be reaching out to alumni for internships, mentorships, helping us out with networking. That's the greater value that alumni bring to us as current undergraduate students. So one of the things that I want to do is, with the current Armstrong ambassadors, those are the people who are going out and helping fundraise for the new Armstrong Student Center, is make that a full-time paid internship with the Office of Advancement. Make them be involved, make them be in charge of getting students like us and connecting us with alumni who are maybe in the same club, maybe the same major, or in a field that we want to go and be a part of after we graduate. That's something I want to do. I think that'd be a great opportunity to have other students take part in.
Let me tell you what's not working right now. Cold calling alumni and begging them for donations is probably one of the worst strategies Miami's ever initiated to try to get alumni to support us. What the business school does, I think they do it really effectively, is they put good students in contact with alumni, and the alumni get to experience these students firsthand. They get to meet them, they get to see what they're doing, they get to be part of their lives, they get to see how Miami's making a difference in their lives, and guess what the alumni do? They get out their checkbook and they write big checks. Just calling someone and randomly asking them for money is not a great way to connect with our alumni. As I mentioned at the very beginning, a lot of this comes back down to developing relationships. Throughout our campaign, we've been able to develop relationships with students across Miami. It hasn't been our deep pockets or the amount of signs we've had. It's been genuine relationships with students. If we are elected, we're going to take this relationship approach not only from our campaigning, but also for our governance. And I think that's really important. I think Miami creating those relationships with alumni by putting students face-to-face contact with these alumni and them really getting able to see our greatness, what we can do, what we can offer them, I think that's the way to do it.